So, what time is it, Rodney?
Time to go to sleep.
Okay. Rephrase that. Say. Yeah.
What time is it? It is 8:36 on Wednesday night. We got 3 hours and 24 minutes to get this baby done. Hang on, let me check my math. Yeah, that's right.
How much sleep do you have?
Not enough. Lack of sleep. We quit at 12, we start at 8. Time you get home, 12:30, quarter to 1, crawl in bed. Try to get up by 6. So, not enough.
So,
I don't want to say, well, it ain't been hard, because that'd be a lie. You know, but it ain't been easy. I mean, we got a good group of guys that know what they're doing, and that makes it go good.
It's one of the better parties I've ever been to. When we conceived the 48-hour Camaro, with you and Mike and Chad, one of the first criteria that we set forth, the cast in stone criteria, is that we were only going to work with companies who we trusted. We trusted the product, we trusted the people behind the product, we trusted the delivery and the performance of the product. The option of failure or non-performance was at that point taken off the table.
When we first started looking at the timeline, and we had a meeting about a week ago, and I thought they were nuts. I was like, there's no way we can do all this, because they started listing all the parts we're going to do with the LS motor and the tank, and we're actually going to redo all the wiring, and typically, I mean, that's day and night for several weeks, but it just goes to show with the proper amount of planning and having enough guys here to work together and everybody knows what's going on can make something like this actually happen.
Chad jokes about the fact that when he started calling people and when they started calling people and talking about doing this, he said, I'm the only person that when they said, we're going to do it in 48 hours, went, oh yeah, seems fair. Everybody else was like, are you nuts? When he started, I said, who's involved, Chad? And he said, started running off names. And it was like a who's who in my A-list Rolodex. All of these people virtually I've worked with before. All of them I've done projects with before.
I believe this is the first time anything ever like this has ever been done on the web live. A car build on camera's been done before, you know, several times over, but you know, when it's all being shown live on the web, it's not like you can cut and paste or do any of that stuff. It's happening live and you see it. You know, there was no drama, there was no egos involved. I mean, everybody worked together. There was never a shortage of guys that were there to help. It was really a fun experience. I mean, you know, we ate together. I mean, you know, it was long days, but it really was a fun deal.
You know, you often wonder when you watch shows, and I've been involved in overhauling and other things, and you know that the audience wonders, behind the scenes, what does it look like? Is everybody yelling and screaming? And no, what a great group of guys. It made the job really easy and fun to do, you know.
Normally these things can be a recipe for disaster. So, you know, this one's gone very, very well, so it's pretty nice, pretty cool. Everybody has had experience with these components and a personal hands-on experience, so I think it really lends itself to making this a successful project.
The most challenging thing was trying to time who needed to do what while we had the engine out, while we had the engine partially in, while we had it all the way in. There was 9 people working in, either sitting on the engine, standing in the engine bay, standing around the doghouse at one time, 9 people working, and probably 8 more standing there. So it got pretty crowded up there at times, but like I said, everything worked out really good, and everybody got what they needed to get done in the time they needed to get it done in.
Well, working with everybody in that tight of a space, it was interesting. We all knew what we had to do. We knew our responsibilities. We just went about doing those responsibilities.
And I mean, I've been involved with new car builds that have taken a year, and the first time out
ended up laying underneath the car along the freeway, and I mean, surprisingly enough, we got in it and drove it all the way to Nashville, raced it all weekend, and drove it all the way home. And by the end of the weekend, Brett was so confident in it that him and Brett got in the car without a chase vehicle and without even as much as a screwdriver in their hand and drove home.
Yeah, we immediately drove it, 4 hours down here and put it on the track, and the car works. I mean, normally when you do one of these quick builds for TV, it's not about a car that runs and kicks butt and goes and can possibly win an event the very next day. You know, those cars go from being assembled for TV and looking pretty to now being going over and safety checked and another week's worth of work doing on them, whereas this goes right to the track and the thing works.
It's Saturday and we're obviously autocrossing the car. As you can hear in the background, this is what you get. Looking at the fact that this car is entirely duplicatable, that kind of got me excited because our customer can identify with it a lot better than some things that are a little bit more esoteric. This car truly is an assembly of component parts. Now, I wouldn't call what we did in 48 hours your typical bolt-on backyard driveway job, but there's nothing that we did that couldn't be done by somebody in a bolt-on environment.
We've all got friends and we've all got resources that everybody pulls together. That's the neat thing, and that's the beauty about the street rodding, hot rodding community, is everybody helps each other. If I'm skilled in one area and one of my friends is skilled in another area, we team up and we collaborate, and I'll help him with what he needs on my strong points and vice versa. And it's very realistic to do.
Why do I do this? It's fun. I love doing this. The people who were here, the other manufacturers who came, they didn't come out of any sense of obligation. They weren't afraid that their product wouldn't be properly presented and promoted. They wanted to be here for the party, and they sat right over here at the tables when they weren't physically working on the car, and they made plans on how they can work together. I think that interaction, people buy from people. You know, they want to buy with who they have a relationship with, so let's go form a relationship. This is nothing more than a high-tech way to form and maintain a relationship with people that you like. The fact that they might buy something from you at some point, yeah, that's a happy coincidence. There's no way that the exposure could possibly capture how this event felt to everybody involved. And a significant portion of this project is yet to unfold.